Hello friends, myself Sandeep N. Palle, Department of Mechanical Engineering, MVP Samajat, KBT COE Nasik. Today's topic is total tension in belt. The tension in the belt from the driving pulley to driven pulley is responsible for transmission of power. There are two factors which are responsible for tension in belt. The first one is tension due to belt friction. It is denoted by TF. The second, the tension due to centrifugal effect of belt. It is denoted by TC. So the total tension in the belt will be TF plus TC. Now we will see the first parameter, that is tension due to belt friction, TF. Now consider the smaller pulley and belt as shown in figure. The belt leaves the pulley at 2 points and has an angle theta. T1 is the tension on the tight side, T2 is the tension on slack side. Now consider a small element AB of belt which has an angle delta theta at the center. Mu is the coefficient of friction. Then the element AB will be in equilibrium position under the different forces. Those are, at point A the tension is T, at point B the tension is T plus delta T, then normal reaction at the center R, and frictional force mu R. Under these forces the element AB is in equilibrium. The pulley is rotating in clockwise direction. So these are the forces: tension T in belt at A, tension T plus delta T at B, frictional reaction R, and frictional force mu R. Now we will resolve these forces in vertical and horizontal, that is tangential and radial direction. If we resolve these forces in tangential direction, we will get mu R plus T cos delta theta by 2 is equal to T plus delta T cos of delta theta by 2. Since delta theta is very small, we can take cos delta theta by 2 is equal to 1. So put this value in the above equation, we will get mu R plus T is equal to T plus delta T. So mu R is equal to delta T. T will cancel out. Equation number first. Now resolve the forces in radial direction. R is equal to T sin delta theta by 2 plus T plus delta T sin delta theta by 2. Since delta theta is very small, so sin delta theta by 2 will be equal to delta theta by 2. So R is equal to T delta theta by 2 plus T plus delta theta by, T plus delta T delta theta by 2. So T delta theta by 2 plus T delta theta by 2 will become T delta theta, and delta T into delta theta. Multiplication of two small quantities, so it will be neglected. So the equation we'll get from equation first and second is mu, the value of r is T delta theta is equal to delta T. So delta T upon T is equal to mu delta theta. Now we'll integrate this equation. So integration delta T upon T equal to integration of mu delta theta within the limit T1 to T2 and 0 to theta. So log E T1 upon T2 is equal to mu theta and T1 upon T2 is equal to e raised to mu theta. So this is called the limiting tension ratio. Next, the second one is tension due to centrifugal effect of belt. The belt continuously runs over the pulley, so it carries some centrifugal force. Now, the tension caused by this centrifugal force is called as a centrifugal tension. The effect of centrifugal tension is to increase the tension on tight as well as slack side. When the belt speed is low, then the centrifugal tension is very small and it can be neglected. But at higher speed, it is considerable, so it should be taken into account. Again, look at the diagram. A belt and the tension at point A and B. At point A, centrifugal tension is Tc. At point B, centrifugal tension is again Tc, and Pc is the centrifugal force. Now, again we will resolve these forces into two components and we will write down the equation of equilibrium. As the value of d theta by 2 is very small, so sin d theta by 2 is equal to d theta by 2. Now, at point A, Tc is there, at point B, Tc is there. So, we will write the equation for centrifugal force. So, 2 Tc sin d theta by 2 is equal to force is mass into centripetal acceleration. Mass is m into r into d theta and centripetal acceleration is vb square upon r. So r cancel out and it remains m v square into d theta. So putting the value of sin d theta by 2 equal to d theta by 2, this 2 will cancel out, so the Tc is equal to mv square. That is, the centrifugal tension is equal to mv square. Now when the centrifugal tension is taken into account, the total tension on the tight side will become T1 plus Tc and slack side T2 plus Tc. As on both sides it is added, so it won't have any effect on power transmission. Next one is initial tension. When a belt is wound around the pulley, it is provided with some amount of pre-tension. It is known as a initial tension. Say it is T0. It is required for power transmission. When the drive is stationary, the total tension on both sides will be 2 times T0, that is 2 times initial tension. But when the drive is transmitting power, the total tension on both sides will be equal to T1 plus T2, where T1 is the tension on tight side and T2 is the tension on slack side. Now, there will be increase in tension on one side, that is tight side, and there will be decrease in tension on the slack side. This increase and decrease amount will be same. So we will get the equation Tt minus T0 equal to T0 minus Ts. Tight side tension minus initial tension minus slack side tension. So 2 times T0 is equal to Tt plus Ts. Now if the centrifugal tension is neglected, we will get 2To, this Tt will become T1 and Ts will become T2. So T0 is equal to T1 plus T2 upon 2. That is the initial tension. But when the effect of centrifugal tension is considered, then initial tension is equal to Tt plus Ts upon 2. That is Tt is T1 plus Tc, Ts is T2 plus Tc by 2. So the equation is T1 plus T2 plus 2Tc upon 2. So T0 is equal to T1 plus T2 upon 2 plus Tc. The power transmitted by belt drive is given by difference in belt tension on either side of the pulley into velocity. Now power is equal to T1. The value of T2 is T1 upon e raised to mu theta from limiting tension ratio into V. T1 is taken common into V, 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. T1 is also written as total tension minus centrifugal tension into V, 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. T minus value of Tc is mv square, V, 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. If we take the derivative and equate it to 0, we will get the condition for maximum power transmission. So d upon dv, the value of p is written here. So it will be 1 minus 1 upon e raised to mu theta. D upon dv is equal to tv minus mv cube is equal to 0. Derivation of tv is t minus 3mv square is equal to 0, or velocity will be equal to root of t upon 3m. So this is the condition for maximum power transmission. Or if we put the value of mv square is equal to tc, we will get the equation tc is equal to t upon 3. So this is another condition for maximum power transmission. The stresses in belt. Let sigma is the stress in belt Newton per mm square, b is the width of belt in mm, and t is the thickness of belt in mm. The total tension will be maximum stress into cross sectional area. So we will get T is equal to sigma Bt. So there are two types of stresses. The first one is direct stress, that is sigma T, that is equal to T upon B into T. Total tension upon cross sectional area B into T. And when the belt runs over the pulley, it bends and unbends, so the bending stress is developed, which is calculated by using bending equation m upon I is equal to sigma upon y is equal to E by R. So the total tensile stress then will become sigma T plus sigma B. So this is all about the belt tension. Thank you.